It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. Starting off with our top story for today, Greater West Bloomfield is bringing the pickleball craze indoors for the winter season. Yes, as we all know, the winter season set in. That means outdoor sports are moving indoors, but that's not stopping the growing pickleball craze right here in West Bloomfield. The Sports Club of West Bloomfield is home to a thriving indoor pickleball league, bringing players together to stay active and have fun year-round. Civic Center TV's very own Jake Schaff takes a closer look at how this sport has taken off in our community.
With the snow falling and the temperatures dropping, Michigan winter is here, and a lot of fun outdoor sports have had to take a back seat for the season, or in some cases have had to be relocated. And pickleball is no exception. Many indoor outlets and leagues have begun to pop up for one of America's favorite pastimes, and the Detroit Pickleball League has found a great home here at the Sports Club of West Bloomfield. The environment may be different, but as the players will tell you themselves, it's the same old ball game.
So this is the second year of the Detroit Pickleball League. I was part of the inaugural season last year, and it was an absolute blast. So I'm back here doing it again, and anytime I get a chance to play, whether it be a league or for fun, I'm all about it whenever my schedule allows.
I think it's fantastic. I play pickleball sometimes twice a day, but every day. And there's not a pickleball court that I haven't played on. I go everywhere, so I love it.
What would you say are some of the biggest differences from playing it outdoors as opposed to playing indoors as you are right now?
Oh, well, there's a lot of differences. First of all, outside you have to deal with the wind. That's the biggest thing. But once you get used to playing in the wind, it's kind of fun. Obviously, with inside, you've got deals with room, if you can get around, if you can serve comfortably. Sometimes lighting is not great inside, but of course, you have good weather inside all the time, so you can play anytime.
I like it because you don't have to worry about the sun in your eyes, don't have to worry about putting sunblock on and all that good stuff. Or if it's raining, sometimes I've had so many plans ruined because of the rain when I play outdoors. So I really like indoors a lot. It does take a lot of adjusting if you're playing on a gym floor surface, on the other hand, because there are some places that the only option is gym floor surface, and that is a big adjustment because the floor is so different than the dedicated pickleball surface or like a tennis court surface.
We play until we're told we can't play outside. The nets are taken down and we have to find a place indoors, whether it be here at Sports Club or somewhere else down the road at Pickle Rage or Farmington Hills or in the east side over at Bass Pickleball Club. So we find our way to indoors. We embrace it, whether it's be at the YMCA or community center. We're here in Michigan. We'll play wherever.
How great is it to have seen this sport's impact on a community like West Bloomfield?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, we have more courts coming out outside every year. You see different municipalities offering more courts because that's what we want. Sometimes it takes numbers to get those courts for us to enjoy. But whether it's outside or indoors, I think that more facilities are offering those programming opportunities for people to play, whether it be drop-in on weekends or ladder leagues during the week or weekends. It's just a fun sport.
Yeah, I think the pickleball community in West Bloomfield has been great. I've played here for several years before I even did the Detroit Pickleball League. And there's more facilities popping up. There's another place called Pickle Rage that just opened up, which is brand new. That's a great new indoor place with dedicated pickleball courts, and I love to see it. The more courts, the better, so I love it.
Whether it's June or January, indoors or outdoors, pickleball is pickleball. And these players are very determined to keep the spirit of the sport alive all year long. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Thank you, Jake. And pickleball is clearly becoming a favorite time for all ages. And the Sports Club of West Bloomfield is making it accessible even during these blistering cold winter months. For more information, you can definitely go to our website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the On-Demand tab to watch that video and stay up to date on everything pickleball related in West Bloomfield. Calling all local artists and creatives, the West Bloomfield Township Public Library has extended the deadline for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Art Contest. Now you have until next Monday, January 13th, to submit your entry by the end of the day. If you're watching on CivicCenterTV.com, as you can see from these incredible examples, the competition is already fierce, but there is still time to showcase your talent. So don't miss your chance to honor Dr. King's legacy through art and creativity. So get your submissions in today. And you can learn more by going to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library's Facebook page, West Bloom LIB, for more information regarding that. WB Parks wants to keep you in shape and keep your resolutions with a very, very fun fitness commitment. Are you ready to keep those resolutions committed to your actual personal goals? West Bloomfield Parks is here to help with an incredible lineup of fitness programs to also help you. Whether you're into candlelight yoga, strength training, a cardio combo, eccentrics, Tai Chi, they have it all, and a bunch of other programs I probably will struggle to pronounce, but they all have those options available for our community. There's a class for you to stay active and energized. Register first, and you can register on their website, wbparks.org, for your chance to register. And you don't want to miss these chances for these exciting programs, and they might fill up soon. So go ahead and do that. You can also keep up with everything that West Bloomfield Parks is doing on their Facebook as well. That's WB Parks on Facebook for more information regarding that. During the new year, we all like to keep our resolutions, from fitness goals to mental goals, and mental health is very, very important, as it is continuously a growing concern within our community and in the nation. And Oakland County has different programs for mental health accessibility, as well as different tactics that we learn from local professionals. So with us, or joining us right here live on The Splash, is motivational speaker from The Positive Shift, Stacey Renee. Thank you for being here, Stacey.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Always a good morning to see you on Splash.
Absolutely. So going straight into it, just using like a blanket conversation to start off and then dive deep, right? How can a greater West Bloomfield area resident start the new year off with a positive mindset, with all things considered, like the challenges we may face in our community?
I think the number one thing is to get in your head and constantly tell yourself, only I can be the change, only I can make the change. And that is something that I have used since the new year and a little bit before, because we all get in those slumps. We all you get in the daily routine, and then you're like, I wish I could do that. Well, you can. Mm-hmm. And, I need to eat better. Well, you can. So the number one step is your mindset. 100%. If you think you can, then you will. If you're wishy-washy, then you're probably gonna not succeed as best as you would like to. So remember this, only you can be the change, only you can make the change. And that's the first place to start, I'd say.
That's correct. I agree with that. Attitude reflects your mentality, so you want to adjust your mentality first, so then it comes out into a great attitude, great actions that you give out to the universe. That's a great start right there. So kind of moving into a little bit more of the specifics, do you have any recommended strategies for people who may be dealing with loneliness, some of the empty nesters right here in Greater West Bloomfield, or even people experiencing isolation during these cold winter months?
Absolutely. It's really hard and difficult sometimes when you are sitting on your couch and you're cozy in your blanket. Oh, let me watch another movie or series on TV, or let me just get attuned to the social media, and you can get sucked into that. So put a limit on your time, set timers on your phone or whatever it is that you have. And if you have some friends that you can start a text thread with, get an accountability partnership with friends, buddies, whoever it is. We recently started that in our neighborhood, and we got on a text thread and we're called the Walkers, and we walk anywhere from 5:30 to 5:45 in the morning, and we wake up and we put like a little sunshine, or we say GM, which is good morning, and getting off the couch is the number one key. Again, only you can be the change, only you can make the change. And so we all did that, and it has been proven that having someone accountable is 100% the first step to change as well as believing in your mindset.
I would agree with that. I got to a point to where me and my close friend kind of had that thing. We stay like less than 10 minutes away from each other. And we're like, yo, just check in with each other every now and then, come over, just, kind of just talk. And, just kind of, that way you don't feel like you're just in this box, especially during these very blistering cold winter months like we talked about. But for the example of someone not having a friend, dealing with isolation in real time, you have any thoughts or can you share insights on how community-driven initiatives can actually help support residents' mental health as well?
Absolutely. I just, before you came on, I heard you talk about the West Bloomfield Parks and Rec. They have some phenomenal programs, but you have to take the initiative and say, you know what? Once a week, I'm going to get out and do something, or check the calendar of what they had. And you just talked about the fitness, and it is the most amazing thing when you can just make yourself go. Is it going to be uncomfortable because like maybe you don't know anybody there? Absolutely. Only you can be the change, only you can make the change. And that's something that you have to constantly remind yourself. And if you want to make the change, then just get out. See what is going around in your local community. Is it easier to sit on the couch? Yeah.
All day.
Is it harder to get out? Yeah. But again, this is real life. And making yourself do something is just being confident and telling yourself, I can do this. Because if you sit there and say, you know what? I can't do this. I just, you know what? I'm just going to sit here. I don't know. I'm not going to know anybody. Well, you're already talking yourself out of it.
Boom.
And I think that that's the key is when you get that thought in your head, you have to immediately change it. The faster that you change it, the faster you're able to change your mindset. And in this day and age, your mindset is everything you have. You are in control of your outcome. You are in control of your schedule, and you are in control of your feelings and getting yourself out of it. Or if you want to stay in it, then that's what you're going to do. But take control. See what is going on in the community. Again, the thing that you just came with, that they have these programs, that's huge. That's huge. And West Bloomfield has such a great community network. They're inviting, they open your arms and say, hey, come join us. And for the community members, if you see someone that maybe you didn't recognize, be that change for that person. Go up and introduce yourself, and then make them feel comfortable, because we've all been in that situation and that spot. And I think not only does it take one individual, but it takes everybody. Again, open your arms, be inviting.
Yes. See, and you stepped on so many different factors of it, but ultimately what I want to say, the last point that you made, which is extending that hand, just extending that branch of being open and being welcome, and just, hi, how you doing? I'm such and such from such and such, how are you? And just introducing yourself to new people. That's something that I feel like we lack a little bit more nowadays, that interactive, that one-on-one personal connection with people. But I understand some of the thoughts against it, I will say, but we have to open up a little bit more. For different results, we have to have different actions. So I'm glad you said that. But joining us right here live on The Splash, motivational speaker from The Positive Shift, Stacey Renee, talking about how we can continue to stay dedicated to our New Year's resolutions of a more positive mental mindset and mental health. So we spoke on a lot of these social stressors, right? For the most part, isolation and things of that nature during the winter. But what about some of the things that people may be dealing with in regards to financial stressors? Are there any strategies or suggestions that you have for people who may be stressing over finances?
Absolutely. Coming off the holiday, probably spending a little bit more than you anticipated, and now it's crunch mode, like, oh my gosh. So we actually are trying something new for January, and we're doing a no-spend January. And we're only spending it on the absolute necessities, as far as like gas or just the main necessities that you can't go without. Go through your cupboards, see what fun foods that you can make or put together. Is it going to be the best dinner or the best breakfast or lunch? Probably not, but be creative. Start like kind of cleaning out what you already have. And as far as going out, when you meet with friends, you don't always have to spend money. Take a cup of coffee or make your own tea and go meet with someone. Say, hey, would you like to come over? So there are definitely ways that you can have a January, maybe February, that you don't have to go out and spend crazy. Know your finances and what you maybe overspend, and just kind of take it there and just remember day by day. And if you want to get something on Amazon or wherever it is, put it in your cart and leave it there. And if you really feel the need in February to get it, then go for it.
Okay.
But just have a plan and try a fun no spend January, just like a dry January or whatever you want to do. No spend January, dry January, and exercise January.
Woo.
Start it off. New beginnings, fresh starts.
Easier said than done, but
It
commitment.
is, but it's not.
Commitment. There you go. Accountability
Yeah.
buddy if you need it, or whatever the case may be. But just know that this is part of the long-term goal. Break it down however you need to. Take it day by day. I love those recommendations, by the way. Let's also get into self-care, because that kind of helps with our mentality, right? Getting yourself together, making yourself look good, feel good. I want you to explain the role that self-care plays in maintaining a positive look for yourself and for the world.
You know what? Only you can be the change. Only you can make the change. So if you want to start getting up every morning, maybe it's just one day a week you put makeup on. You have yourself. Put sticky notes on your mirror, and how you wake up in the morning. And I keep saying this because it is so crucial. How you wake up in the morning sets the tone for your day. Have a sticky note. Put it in the mirror and say, I love you. I'm going to have a great day. What can I do for you today to make you happy or successful? And you're going to think about that all day. Have a sticky note in your car when you go out. But take the time to care about you, because let me tell you, if you don't do it for yourself, nobody else is going to. And one of the biggest suggestions that I can say for your self-care is get your own personal calendar. They have complimentary calendars all over. Make this calendar just yours. If you are trying to lose weight, weigh yourself one day a week and just put your weight at the top and watch yourself. And if you go up like a pound or half a pound, to say, you know what? I'm going to be more mindful of what I put in my mouth. Exercise. Put an X on the days that you don't exercise. And when you see a couple of X's every day, you're like, ooh, I should be doing that. If you don't have time to exercise, all of a sudden when you're brushing your teeth, you're going to do it 2 times a day. I want for you to do squats for about 2 minutes. How many squats can you get in? There are ways that you can just do this. It's being mindful and aware. Sticky notes are a godsend. Have your own calendar. And then that way you can kind of see success. And when you see things and you write down things, it helps you be more accountable and more aware. And then also, if you are kind of in a slump and you're at home and you're like, I just am home, I don't want to go out anywhere. Again, take that one day to put makeup on, make yourself feel good, and just do it and see how you feel. And if all else fails, put some music on and dance around.
Ooh.
Something that makes you feel good, and that will totally change your energy and your mind. If you're crying and you're dancing, that's okay, because it will help get it out. Get it out, let it go, and music makes you feel good.
The music.
So calendar, music,
Yep.
and the sticky notes.
Yes. Great points, by the way. I used to have sticky notes around, and that helped me. Those were like my power words, my value words. The calendar thing, putting the X on the days that you don't work out, that could be a great visual also. And just everything else that you mentioned. We appreciate your advice. We appreciate your time. Stacey, before we let you go, any additional advice, tips, strategies that you want to give to people to help start the year off and finish the year off with that positive mindset?
Yes, please remember the mantra. And that's why I keep saying it, because the more you hear it, it takes about 7 times for us to really hear. Only you can make the change. Only you can be the change. And I keep saying that because that is so true. And then, one of my favorite things is your mindset sets you forward. And you can always say, I am awesome, successful, and smart. I succeed at what I put my mind to. And just say that over and over when you start to feel negative, you start to have negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Stop it, cancel, clear, delete it out, and then move forward with you are an awesome, successful, smart, and you succeed at what you put your mind to. Get the calendar, make the change. You can be the change.
Perfect place to land. Thank you so much for your time and your great, great information. Once again, motivational speaker from The Positive Shift, Stacey Renee. Thank you again.
Thanks.
And this is just one of the very great examples that we have in regards to the resources from some of our local community leaders and advocates who can help you start the year off and continue the year with that positive mindset. We'll keep you updated with more resources regarding mental health in the greater West Bloomfield area. Shoot for Life's Hero Day gives back to our local first responders who tirelessly work to protect and serve our local community. Now, one local organization is offering a unique way to show their gratitude. I actually went out to Detroit Archers and West Bloomfield to highlight an event that's making a meaningful impact for our hometown heroes.
It's nice to have some positive feedback for us. As first responders, we're go, giving back to the community 24/7. So to have some recognition given back is just appreciated. I've been into archery for probably 25 years. And so for me, archery has always been just a therapeutic thing where when you're shooting, you have to focus on every shot. Your mind can't be focused on anything else. And coming from law enforcement where you're on a level 10, most times it just helps you break away from that stress and break away from that, constant go.
Anytime the community can give back to those who serve the community, it's a great gesture. Unique events like this wouldn't be possible without the initiative and partnership of a local business and local organization like Shoot for Life.
So to create Heroes Day, it's an outreach from the mission and to grow. This is our 10th year with the organization. And so to create it is to honor our first responders, our military, create an atmosphere of camaraderie, while promoting the therapeutic aspects of archery. For those who've never shot a bow, when you're shooting a bow, there's so many focal points that whatever you have going on, good or bad in your life, you tend to forget about it, and you enjoy, guys are shooting on the range and they're not thinking about anything else. So that's what it's about.
So I have personally known Tom for quite a few years now. He's always been trying to give back to the outside archery community and the local community. We love to support them as best we can, to give back when we can. We have a very nice property here, lots of space to put on shoots like this, and that's basically what it's all about, is just trying to give back to others who help support us throughout the years with archery, both indoor, outdoor, and hunting aspects like that.
A key takeaway from the efforts of Heroes Day is the love it takes first responders to serve Greater West Bloomfield is the same love it takes the community to support our first responders. We also learn other ways we can comfort public safety officials.
My suggestion there would be get to know your first responders, whether it be law enforcement, paramedics, firefighters. There's a lot of great people in all avenues of life, and I think a lot of first responders get overlooked because most times people have contact with them, it's a negative event. So if there's a event like this, if there's an event where you can reach out and get in contact, meet them off duty because they're just normal people.
Overall, a great, unique way to give back to those who do so much to serve our community. We want to send a very heartfelt thank you for Detroit Archers and West Bloomfield, Shoot for Life, and of course, our unwavering service to the first responders who serve our community. Thank you so much for all that you do. Local West Bloomfield businesses, small businesses in particular, did you know they play a significant role in our economy? They provide employment opportunities. They also contribute to the local tax base. So to give resources and provide insight for some of the help that is available from Oakland Thrive, join us right here live on The Splash. We have the West Bloomfield business consultant from Oakland Thrive, Jamar Bray. Thank you for being here, Mr. Bray.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
And we appreciate that. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Just talking about small businesses, resources that are available for them and things of that nature. I want you to kind of start off with this blanket response. How do you see small businesses contributing to the economic and social fabric of West Bloomfield?
Yeah, I mean, in West Bloomfield, that's I would say is the crock pot of small businesses. When you have a Dr. Monty at Robotics Therapy, Muscle and Therapy, and a Alex over at Direct Optic, these people are they saw a need and they went after it, especially with Dr. Monty at Robotics Therapy. I mean, I went to him and I have back issues from playing sports for years, and me and him talked for hours. And as we're talking, I was actually going through the robotics therapy um, session, and it was mind blowing. You know, I'm sitting here and I have a machine working on me instead of going to a chiropractor. And I mean, just talking to him about how he came up with this is truly amazing. And when you go through West Bloomfield and you see all of the different small businesses and the different business owners that I'm able to connect with, um, they're truly amazing. I believe that with joining the West Bloomfield Chamber as well, that's another way. For a small business, you can just stay connected, stay social, go out. Hey, I have a business down on Haggerty, and you have a business on Orchard Lake. You know, how can we work together? So I feel like with West Bloomfield, that's happening, especially with the help with the chamber, with Suzanne Levine. It's starting to look like that now. So you're starting to see business owners mingle with each other, and you're starting to see the economic boom from that.
I love how you broke that down, how you talk about the partnership between businesses, how you talk about how innovative local Greater West businesses are, and how they're leading the charge in so many different areas and fields. And that's a great statement to how we are doing as an economy right here in Greater West Bloomfield. We also know that January and the New Year starts off tax season technically, right?
Amen.
Now, a lot of people
Tax
know about
season.
their personal taxes and they're rushing to do their W-2s and things of that nature, but business taxes are also important and can be very detrimental or helpful for a business. So can you just talk about some of the most common tax-related challenges small business owners in West Bloomfield may face and how they can overcome them?
Yes. Well, one of the things actually I received a message yesterday with, with being afraid of taxes. You know, taxes has such I feel like a stigma on it within itself for personal. So of course I don't want that to, affect my small business. I put
Right.
everything into this. So a lot of times I'm seeing that, well, hey, should I keep every receipt? I don't have all my receipts. Or, hey, I'm seeing that in the news, there's a Corporate Transparency Act and all of these different tax compliant issues. You know, how does it affect me? And so with Oakland Thrive, we're able to actually help you with that. So we have within ourselves and within our organization, we call it our B2B program. So we will actually pay up to the first 2 hours with a licensed tax accountant. First 2 hours is free. So free is for me. So I believe that with that help, you'll be able to actually work through those tax challenges. And with our program, it's not just limited to the tax help. You say, hey, I'm also having an accounting help along with the tax help. We have a lot of resources for that, and the challenges are very in depth. I mean, you have people that's scared to pay themselves because they don't know. Okay, what tax should I put on myself or my employees? So there's a lot of challenges, and I believe that with Oakland Thriving, with just the help in the community, we're here for that. We're here for, to help you with that.
As a small business owner myself, I completely understand. It can get very, very tricky. You want to make sure you're dealing with professionals first and foremost, and you do want to make sure that you are utilizing resources that we have available, like Oakland Thrive as well. Any other additional programs that from your experience that you've seen local small business owners actually utilize and benefit from?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen as far as with us, I've seen even with myself, I was able to get connected with County Aid Society or going through and we have a great person on our staff, Leslie Jones, who's in West Bloomfield, and she actually helps small businesses with their tax preparation as well. So, and she teaches and also pours into the community as well. So there's tons of programming. I think there's a lot more that needs to happen, of course, because tax season's around the corner. And for a small business, there has to be a little bit more of an innovative way of staying connected with every single tax compliant issue that comes out because I mean, as you can see, with the new administration, there's a lot of things on the docket. So I would say, stay plugged in with your local business chamber, especially with West Bloomfield Chamber. There's a lot of help within there. You can always connect with me at Oakland Thrive. You can always, of course, and we'll walk through that process with you. And we have classes and workshops as well that'll be able to help you.
Perfect. I just want you to explain, give you the platform to explain a little bit more of the help that's. I'm pretty sure there's some people who've never even heard of Oakland Thrive, let alone the programs that you offer. So I want to make sure we highlighted that. And with this right
we're
here,
young. Yeah,
yes.
we're young. We're young. We're 3 years. Actually, I believe my anniversary is today. My work
Hey.
anniversary, from the start. But we're here, and that's the thing. And we want to
Good.
make sure that I want to make sure that West Bloomfield business owners, residents, whoever, I'm here. I'm not hard to find, like Deion Sanders say. And so whenever, whatever I can do to help, I want to be that for the community.
Couple other things I want to go through, but with us right here live on The Splash from Oakland Thrive, we have West Bloomfield business consultant Jamar Bray talking about small businesses, opportunities, and resources, and talking about the tax season and how small businesses can stay informed there. But with that being said, there's a lot of different changes that happen with taxes, a lot of moving parts, which is why we need those professionals. But can you talk about how recent or regulatory changes in general impact small businesses in West Bloomfield, and what steps can owners take to stay compliant?
Yeah, I know that there was a raising of wage recently from minimum wage, and now you have to raise prices here, and now you don't understand. Maybe the tax goes from 3% on this to 4 or 5%, and how does that affect my bottom line? I would say always making sure that you are staying connected, like I said, with your local chamber, but also watching the news. Social media is the new news now for me. I'm always looking at different things that's happening that I'm within the government that I need to relate to my clients, like the Corporate Transparency Act. That was a big thing, and now it's been halted. So those are the things that I have to relate to my clients. But a lot of them, wouldn't know what a Corporate Transparency Act is if it wasn't for the information I'm able to give them. So I would say just staying plugged in with the different platforms that give out news particular for your business. Of course you can watch Civic Center TV. Of course they're gonna let you know, but I would say always making sure that you're plugged in with your local business chamber, or even your local government. Talking to the planning department, talking to the different departments throughout for your small business to understand how does this affect you.
You know what I want to ask you? Something that kind of just came to my mind as we were talking. West Bloomfield, like we said, a lot of small businesses. I mean, there's so many businesses you can just drive down the street and not know that there's a business there, but it's been there for years. And I mean, you have so many options from restaurants to even cars. Tesla's here now, Porsche, things of that nature. What innovative marketing strategies have you found effective for small business in West Bloomfield to increase their invisibility and the overall customer base?
Yeah, honestly, with like you said, you can drive. Like I live right by Orchard Lake, and I can literally walk down Orchard Lake and talk to 10 business owners within 2 minutes. But I would say social media, actually showing your personality, actually being able to showcase what you have. And if I have an eyeglass place, then I'm going to wear the crazy eyeglass place. I'm gonna wear the frames. These aren't really special at all, but I want to make sure that I'm showing my personality through social media, because it's such a giant. You have to get in it. You have to learn it. You have to learn the algorithms. You have to really, even if you have to take a class, there's a different programs like us, different Apex, and all these different other places. They offer social media classes. So I want people to be able to know that, yeah, billboards are great, but in West Bloomfield, social media is going to have to be your bread and butter.
Interesting. And that in itself is almost its own occupation. And this, another team member to kind of keep up with the algorithm and the trends and things that are all social media related, social media marketing related. So just another thing to keep in mind for our local businesses, local business owners. Don't want to hold you up too much longer, but I do want to ask you, looking forward, any trends that you foresee affecting small businesses in West Bloomfield over the next few years, especially with AI, technology, computers, everything starting to be incorporated now?
Yeah, I would say make AI your best friend. We're not running, it's here. And, if you're not familiar with it, like I said, there's a lot of classes for it, but I would say the trend is going towards, this phone here. A lot of things are through this phone, as far as your marketing, as far as connecting with people, calling, prospective clients. I would say the trend is also learning, the different new technologies for your particular business. I know, being a chiropractor, it was great, but Dr. Mani, elevated that game with the robotics therapy. Now he's able to service 3 clients at the same time using robotics, and that's insane. So, technology is a big thing, but it's something that we all have to embrace and really figure out what our next steps are to innovating it to make it really fit for our business.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere. AI,
Nowhere.
technology, quantum computing, it's all the future. So, yes. So it's either get with it or you're going to get lost. Hey, we thank you so much for your very, very valuable information. And once again, from Oakland Thrive, West Bloomfield business consultant, Jamar Bray. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
Yes. Hope you took a lot from that conversation, that interview, especially as a small business owner or even an aspiring small business owner. A lot of great information to learn right there. And we continuously have great information from you to learn from, and that is very valuable right here on The Splash. And we'll get to that coming up. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be 1 in a million.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I'm your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. The flu is a very serious illness that can lead to hospitalization or death, particularly in vulnerable populations. And that's why it's very important to be up to date on flu shots, vaccines, the cold, and everything in between. With us, joining us right here live on The Splash to talk a little bit more about flu shots and vaccinations and illnesses, we have internal medicine specialist from the Grand River Medical Associates, Dr. Jamie Tawil. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. How are we doing today?
Doing just great, doctor. And hopefully we're all doing great health-wise, but that's why we have you here to kind of help us answer a few of these questions regarding this. Now, we're seeing flu, COVID, vaccines, flu shots, all different types of topics going around. I just want to ask you, are there any specific steps that you recommend the Greater West Bloomfield community do to minimize the spread of the flu during the season?
Oh, of course. There's a lot of things that we can do to kind of minimize that risk of getting the flu, as well as any other respiratory viral illnesses. And I think that's going to, I always harp on this, but it's going to be the same as it always has been. Make sure that you are avoiding contact, you're exercising contact precautions. You're basically, covering up your coughing, you're covering up your sneezing, you are washing your hands after doing so, washing your hands between interaction with other people, maintaining a safe distance, but at the same time enjoying life. I also recommend, receiving the vaccines. Vaccines are going to be the best option to prevent the flu virus as well as other viruses for those particular vaccines. In addition to, if you do get the flu, make sure that you are staying indoors and staying away from people. And if caught in time, can get antiviral medications to really shorten the distance between the time you've had the flu to the end of symptoms, as well as make yourself a little bit less susceptible to spreading that virus to other people.
Doctor, let me tell you, you start off with some great tips, but let me tell you, to me, that seems like common sense to cover your mouth, wash your hands. Common sense, but we have to reiterate these things, especially from a professional like yourself, because those are some of the key things that helps stop the spread.
Of course, common sense is common sense, but at the same time, it needs to be repeated. People need to hear this more than once. People need to kind of be reminded. We are so far, we got some distance now between us and COVID, and people are, we're breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. And all of a sudden, those precautions that we were doing are no longer really happening. And I'm not recommending everybody go out there wearing masks by any means, but still, there are some things out there that can get you.
Exactly. Great point. With that being said, I want to kind of get into the whole vaccine and flu shot situation. From your experience, how do you address concerns, hesitancies, and even misconceptions when it comes to the flu vaccine, even specifically right here in our area?
Well, education is the key, obviously. So any concerns that people have, I like to be able to try and talk them through it, see what their concerns are. People are hesitant for different reasons, and I'm not gonna berate people. I know there are some physicians out there that are frustrated, and that frustration kind of bleeds through. And believe me, I understand, and I have my frustrations. But at the same time, people want to have a little bit more of a knowledge of what's going on, and to be able to approach this in a relatively constructive way to make sure that people aren't feeling like we're just going, take this and that's all you need to do. I think it's a bad approach. So yeah, I think just basically education, reminding people flu vaccine has been around for a long time. I think a lot of the things, any type of effects that people have from the flu vaccine are typically from the proteins that the flu vaccine is created with, which is an egg-based protein. So if you have an allergy to eggs, that it can cause some allergies. Reminding people that when you do get the flu vaccine, that you are going to feel a little bit under the weather, and that's because your body's responding to the vaccines, doing what it's supposed to do to prevent the next thing from happening. But people tend to say, I got the flu shot and I ended up getting the flu that day, and it's more or less a result of the vaccine doing its thing.
Right.
As far as misconceptions, that's going to be education and a willingness to be able to have that dialogue. And bottom line, it's just making sure that people are aware, knowing that the flu vaccine, people had a lot of concerns with regards to the COVID vaccine, and that kind of bled into everything else. But you have to realize that these vaccines are different vaccines. The flu vaccine has been around for a very long time. Its process has been in place. And so hopefully, people can have a little bit more of an open mind when it comes to these things.
Great explanation right there, by the way. And I'm glad that you added all that added all of that information too to kind of clarify a few things. With us right here, live on the Splash, internal medicine specialist, Grand River Medical Associates, Dr. Jamie Tawil, talking about COVID, flu shots, and vaccines. Very important question I have for you, doctor. A lot of people, including myself, struggling with the difference between getting the flu, getting COVID, or even nowadays something as simple as a cold. Can you please just explain the difference and maybe even the similarities between these and how testing can clarify the diagnosis?
Absolutely. So that difficulty in determining the difference between those can be a bit of a problem, because I get a lot of patients that would have the flu or COVID and not get tested for it because they think, it's not COVID. I had COVID before and this isn't it. Unfortunately, COVID's kind of having new different variants of itself that can present differently. The flu is kind of the flu. It tends to do what it does, but people present differently every year. So, for major differences that I would probably, viruses are viruses. They kind of hit you from all over. People tend to feel miserable from head to toe. They have fevers. It starts with a sore throat. They're achy. They're fatigued. Those things are pretty much a viral symptom. Versus something that's kind of like a pneumonia, which would only impact the lungs. I mean, you'd have the effects of having a pneumonia, you'd have fevers as well and things like that, but where that problem mainly is, or a sinus infection, it's just all up in here. Between flu and COVID, flu tends to be a little bit more quick in onset. It tends to hit you like that. COVID tends to, I might add, everybody presents differently, but tends to take a little bit more time. It's kind of more of a slow build over a day or two, as opposed to the flu where you just suddenly get hit with that. COVID still has that signature, loss of sense of smell, loss of taste. So that might be something that could do you into COVID. The new player on the scene, so to speak, is RSV, and that's the one that's causing some significant issues with it's a respiratory thing. It's going to cause a lot of coughing. So, and we're also seeing some stuff going around where people are just having this nagging cough that's just hanging on for weeks. They feel better, but that cough ain't going away for a while. We throw everything at them and nothing's really changing. That's kind of anecdotal, what I'm starting to see a lot of. But we're now doing these rapid tests that are what they call basically a respiratory 4, and it tests for influenza A, influenza B, COVID, and RSV. So that's a one-time swab for 4 things. Most doctors are doing that. Most centers, most pharmacies are doing that, and most of those are available as well. So.
Perfect. We appreciate adding that, because you just had a light bulb go off in my head about a few things, doctor, and that's exactly why we have you here. We're a little bit pressed for time, but we appreciate all your information. Any additional information that we didn't discuss regarding flu, COVID, vaccine, RSV, or anything of that nature?
No, just do yourselves a favor and try to get the vaccine at your comfort level. I would really encourage that to get done, at least at a minimum. If you have some hesitancy, please reach out to your doctor. If you feel you're getting sick, make sure you're getting evaluated just to make sure it's not something you can give to everybody else.
Once again, internal medicine specialist, Grand River Medical Associates, Dr. Jamie Tawil. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Great information, because we are all, for the most part, going to be affected by some type of flu, illness, or COVID. So make sure you protect yourself, wash your hands, cover your mouth when you cough, and just cover the basics as well. We want to thank Dr. Jamie Tawil for that information. As we all know, if you live in Michigan, during the winter, we are going to experience cold and we're going to experience the snow. But that's no reason for us to just stay inside. We have beautiful wildlife and other winter activities for us all to explore. Let's dive deeper into that. Joining me right here live on the Splash from West Bloomfield Parks, we have Parks Naturalist Supervisor Lauren Azori. Thank you for being here, Lauren.
Hello, thanks for having me.
That's my little announcer voice right there for you, Lauren. That's how I'm feeling right now. But overall, we are here talking about ways that we can go outside and enjoy winter and look at some wildlife and kind of get into it like that. So let's talk about the nature room that you all have, which I believe it looks like that's where you are now if you're watching on Civic Center TV. Talk about the inspiration for the development of the self-guided activities within the nature room.
Yeah, well, we offer a lot of structured programming where you can be guided by a naturalist. Sometimes it's great to just come and explore and also just have a space to create community. So a community of like-minded people, families that have kids around similar ages, that enjoy getting outdoors and nature. So we like to open up the nature room. We call it our Nature Explorer Discovery Days. once a week, every week from 8 to 4:30. And right now it's Tuesdays. We're going to transition to Wednesdays in this month now. So if you used to come on Tuesdays, we'd love to have you on Wednesdays. So our Nature Explorer Discovery Days are Wednesdays from 9 to 4:30 every Wednesday. And it's a great time to explore indoors. So you get to meet a lot of our live animals that are here swimming around or exploring. You get to do a nature craft. And there's also an outdoor element if you choose to do so. So it's great in the winter time to have flexibility based on the weather. So you can come no matter what the weather. And if you want to go outside, our outdoor national play area is open, as well as our Civic Center trails are open to explore too. But the main idea is creating community around nature and giving people a gathering spot.
There it is. There it is. And I would agree. So now let's get into it. I want to talk about nature, wildlife, specifically in Michigan and Greater West Bloomfield, right? One thing that I know, this is the only thing I know, birds fly south for the winter. I don't even know how true that is. But overall, I know that there is pretty much a change in wildlife. So can you just talk about some of the unique adaptations of Michigan wildlife during the winter in Greater West Bloomfield?
Absolutely. It's really fascinating how animals can survive the winter. Now, us humans, I know we like to kind of hunker down and hibernate in the winter, and there are plenty of animals that do that, but we don't actually have that many true hibernators in Michigan. One of our only true hibernators is the groundhog. So they fill themselves up, they get fat for the winter, and then they go into their burrows and hibernate. That means that their bodies truly go into a resting state. So rather than a regular rapid heart rate, their heart rate might only beat once every minute or a couple times per minute. So it's not just sleeping. It is a whole change of body, which is crazy cool adaptation on how that works. So one of our true hibernators is groundhogs. And then a lot of our reptiles and amphibians do something similar called rumination, where they go into a state of torpor, a state of rest for the winter. So those are harder to find. But a lot of our mammals have some great adaptations that help them to be active in the winter. So I'm sure you'll find deer footprints and rabbit footprints and squirrel footprints and mice footprints out if you're out and about on our trails, and you can look in the snow for those. Deer actually change their coat for the winter. So they have a thicker coat of fur, and each strand of their little individual hairs is hollow. So we call it hair air, and they're able to use that extra layer of air as insulation to be out and about in these more frigid temperatures. You mentioned birds. So many birds do migrate. You got that. You are correct. But some not. So it just depends. You know, you're mostly right. Some it totally depends on their food source. So if they're a bird that eats insects, clearly in the winter there's no insects flying around, there's no food for them, so they do have to migrate south where it's warmer and they can find food. But if they're a bird that eats seeds, like our tufted titmouses stay around, nuthatches stay around. Lots of other birds will come to bird feeders and feed on seeds from your garden or out in the wild in the winter. So bird activity in the winter is actually fun to enjoy, but it's just different species than we would have in the summertime.
That is interesting. You just said so many things where a light bulb went off in my house. Like I never thought about. I don't see insects during the winter. I don't really see it. That's one of those things you don't think about until you talk to a naturalist professional like yourself. Lauren, I'm going to have to come over there and pick your brain with some things, just some random questions about this stuff. But we're going to keep it going. I know that WB Parks offers, like you said, the Nature Room Discovery Days that you briefly talked on. I want to revisit that a little bit. Talk about a little bit more about how the Discovery Days in the Nature Room actually helps foster that connection between these local families and our natural environment in West Bloomfield.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of people, like families, exchange phone numbers here, meet up again for play dates other places. Good. So if you're looking to connect with other parents with kids of similar ages, it's a great place and space to do so. So it's a very welcoming, open space. I cleaned it up for you guys behind me a little bit today, but when we have our Discovery Days, there's lots of great activities, things for kids to engage with. So it gives the kids a connection with their parents, kids connection with other kids, parents a connection with parents. And many of the times people are coming here to either learn something new about nature or to appreciate nature. So obviously it's, a group of like-minded people that gather. So that's really great. And it just is free play. Like a lot of times kids don't get that time to just play. Play is so important in child development for lots of reasons. So it's just a great place to come and also play and develop along with other kids.
Yeah, not only just play, but they're actually learning at the same time. They're learning about these animals and wildlife in Michigan and things like that. It's like sneaking the vegetables and the candy. Like, they don't even know that they're learning, but they're having fun also. And I love how we integrate both of those two things. With us right here live on the Splash from WB Parks, we have Parks Naturalist Supervisor Lauren Azori talking about wildlife in the winter in Michigan, and also winter activities. So let's head into that a little bit more. I want to see if you have any recommendations for residents that's looking to explore the outdoors during these cold winter months in our local area.
Yeah, and little by little, right? So if you're intimidated by going out in the winter, just go out for a short breath of fresh air, and then get yourself out for a little bit of a longer walk. Many of our parks are open in the winter. Our trails are open. We don't groom our trails for winter, so whatever is left on the ground is what we get. So we do recommend, dress appropriately. If you've ever heard the old saying, I'm sure there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing choices. So bundle up, do what you're gonna need to do to be comfortable outdoors, given the conditions. Wear good boots and sturdy boots, and you'll still get some great exploring time. Many of our bathrooms are closed in the winter, but there are a few that are. So either plan ahead or just look on our website at wbparks.org to see what amenities are open in the winter and what are closed. But you're welcome to explore the nature preserve and the West Bloomfield Trail. Our bathroom at Arrowhead is open year-round, as well as Marchbank Park has a year-round outdoor bathroom too. So good options there for you if you're gonna go out for a little bit longer adventure.
Nice. Very quick random question just came to my head. I'm not sure, so just let me know. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I heard a rumor that snowshoes may be available.
That is true, yes. So snowshoes are like a unique way to explore, and they're not as hard as people might think. So you might be intimidated by trying like a new sport or sorts, but really it's just walking with bigger feet, and it actually helps you traverse deeper snow. It's easier. So do not be intimidated by trying something new. We're not saying get on a giant hill and go wild. This is a very simple, easy outdoor recreation opportunity by renting snowshoes. The trick is that we need 3 inches of snow or more. So we definitely check ahead at our rec center, our main phone number. You can always give us a call here or check our website to see if the conditions are great for snowshoeing. So we need 3 inches of snow or more in order for the snowshoes to be effective and actually work in that, not break on the sidewalk. You need to have snow to enjoy the snowshoes. But it is a unique way to get out and about. It helps you stay above the snow. So we're kind of going with the idea of nature invented it first. You ever heard of the snowshoe hare?
No, I haven't.
Well, snowshoe hares have really big feet. And that is because they have to traverse the Arctic. They have to traverse really deep snow conditions. And without being able to sink deep down into the snow and disappear, they just disperse their weight amongst these really big padded feet. So they have this extra fur in between their toes, and it pads them and helps them stay on top of the snow rather than sinking deep down in. And so snowshoes do the same thing for us humans. You're able to stay more on top of the snow and explore areas that you might not be able to go in or might be harder to walk in if there was deep snow.
Interesting.
So we definitely encourage it. Try it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay that a visit and try it out when we unfortunately get a lot of snow. I guess I was like, but like you said, there's no bad weather. It's just bad how you dress for the weather. You said it better than I did. But we want to thank you so much again for your time and information. Once again, from WB Parks, West Bloomfield Parks, Parks Naturalist Supervisor Lauren Azori. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Enjoy the winter weather. Get out there and explore, everyone.
Yes, please do. Please do. Don't become a habitated groundhog in your home. Locally, a financial empowerment contest wants you to use your creativity for a piece of a prize pool. Greater West Bloomfield High School students, your creativity can earn you part of $10,000 prize pool. The Oakland County Treasurer's Office is inviting public high school students in grades 9 through 12 to enter the 2025 Financial Empowerment Arts Contest. You can submit your best work in 2D art. That's mixed media, photography, even video, focusing on the theme of financial empowerment. Entries will be judged on creativity, execution, and how well the theme is expressed. Cash prizes will be awarded to winners and honorable mentions in each grade level. The deadline to submit your art is Friday, March 14th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. You can find out more details about this as we continuously give you more information. Go to civiccentertv.com and click on the on-demand tab for more videos and more information regarding that and other great things going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. There are free resources also available for veterans and their families in the greater West Bloomfield area. Mark your calendars for this vital resource fair happening January 23rd, that's a Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon at the Lyle Oaks Golf Course in Wixom. Free event offering food boxes, assistance with veteran benefits, career planning, and so much more. If you want to find out more information, you can contact Tyrone Jordan. His phone number, 248-285-8016. That's 248-285-8016, or email at jordant@oakgov.com. Just one of the very many resources that we have for you right here at Civic Center TV in the greater West Bloomfield area. Happy to present them to you. I've been your host, Kevin McIntosh. Per usual, we are live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.